On our list might shock you. It's praised everywhere for being anti-inflammatory, but for many older adults, it can actually do the opposite. Let's talk about pineapple. It's tropical, it's juicy, it's refreshing. And for years, it's been celebrated for a natural compound called bromelain, which is said to help with inflammation and digestion. Sounds amazing, right? But here's the twist. While pineapple does have benefits, it also hides a double-edged sword. It's packed with strong acids and natural sugars, and those sugars aren't as harmless as they seem, especially once you're past 60. You see, as we age, our blood vessels become more fragile, more sensitive to spikes in blood sugar. When you eat pineapple, it gives your blood a powerful dose of sugar, causing levels to rise rapidly. And every time that happens, the tiny blood vessels that feed your legs, feet, and muscles take a hit. Over time, that damage adds up. Circulation weakens, less oxygen reaches your legs, and what follows? Pain, fatigue, swelling, that dull ache after a short walk, that heaviness in your knees when you stand, the stiffness that just won't go away. But it doesn't stop there. Pineapple is also acidic, and if you already have joint inflammation or arthritis, those acids can pour fuel on the fire. They can intensify that burning in your ankles, hips, and knees, making you feel sore and inflamed even when you haven't done much. So while pineapple might look like a tropical treat, for older adults, it can secretly work against your strength and mobility. Coming up next, we'll reveal the second fruit that's quietly weakening your legs. And this one is probably sitting in your kitchen right now. So don't go anywhere, because what you're about to discover might just save your joints. Some people even notice that their legs feel heavier after eating pineapple, as if their strength is slowly draining away with every bite. But there's something else you must know, especially if you're taking medications like blood thinners. That same enzyme that makes pineapple so famous, bromelain, can interact with certain drugs, making them either too powerful or not powerful enough. And the most dangerous part of all, you rarely notice it happening. There are no immediate side effects, no warning signs, no sharp pain. It sneaks in slowly, day by day, until one day you realize you can't move like you used to. And the saddest part? Most seniors have no idea that the fruit they eat for their health could be quietly contributing to the weakness they feel every year in their legs. So what should you do? It's not about hating pineapple. It's about being aware, especially if you've been struggling with chronic leg pain, swelling, or stiffness. Because the damage is subtle, but very real. And if a fruit known for its anti-inflammatory powers can cause this much trouble, imagine what the next one can do. It's soft, it's sweet, it's known for giving you energy and muscle power. But it might be deceiving you. Let's talk about the second fruit on our list, bananas, the imposter of muscle strength. For years, we've been told bananas are perfect, high in potassium, good for muscles, and a great source of energy. And that's true for younger bodies. But for seniors, the story changes. Bananas are loaded with natural sugars and fast-digesting carbohydrates. That means every time you eat one, your blood sugar spikes fast. And when that happens often, your body begins to resist insulin. Your circulation weakens and inflammation rises. And your legs? They're the first to suffer. You may notice that dull soreness when you walk or climb stairs, that heaviness in your calves after a meal, or stiffness that creeps in even when you're resting. And it doesn't end there. Bananas can also make your body retain more fluid, especially if you have heart issues or poor circulation. That means swollen feet, puffy ankles, and joints that feel stiff or heavy. It's a silent effect, a comfort food that slowly turns against you. Bananas aren't evil, But for aging legs, they might not be the innocent energy booster we once believed. Up next, the third fruit that's secretly damaging your strength and balance. It's often labeled as a superfruit, but for many seniors, it's a hidden trap. Stay tuned, because knowing what to avoid could be the first step to getting your strength back. You eat them because you believe they'll help your muscles, that they'll give you strength and energy, but instead, they could be silently draining your power, one bite at a time. And the worst part? You don't feel it immediately. It creeps in slowly, until one day, your legs feel heavier, your steps slower, and simple movements more painful than they used to be. So take a closer look at the fruits on your plate. If you often feel heavy, swollen, or aching legs, bananas might not be as friendly as they seem. But what if something even smaller could do the same or worse? Tiny, sweet, harmless looking. Let's talk about grapes, the third fruit on our list. A little fruit with a big inflammatory effect. They look innocent, small, juicy, easy to snack on. They carry a reputation for being heart-healthy, full of antioxidants, and natural. But here's the surprising truth most people don't know. For many older adults, grapes can quietly trigger leg pain, stiffness, and joint inflammation. Why? Because grapes are packed with fructose, a natural sugar that sounds harmless, but in high amounts, it can be toxic for aging bodies. Fructose is absorbed directly by your liver, and when your liver can't process it all, it turns into fat and uric acid. And that's when the real trouble begins, especially in your toes, ankles, and knees. Uric acid builds up in your joints, causing that familiar burning, swollen pain. That sharp sting in your big toe at night, that sudden tightness in your calves after walking, might not be just aging. It might be a handful of grapes quietly pushing your uric acid higher. But it doesn't end there. The fructose in grapes also fuels chronic inflammation, the kind that slows your movement, stiffens your muscles, and makes your legs feel like they've lost their spring. And because grapes are so small and easy to eat, it's effortless to overdo it. One handful turns into 2, then 3. And before you realize it, you've consumed dozens of little sugar bombs in minutes. So while grapes might look like the perfect healthy snack, they could be secretly reducing your leg flexibility, weakening your circulation, and making every step a little harder as the years go by. Now you know what might be hiding behind that sweet taste. If you've been eating grapes regularly and noticing more stiffness or swelling, you might finally have an answer. But grapes aren't the only fruit doing this. Up next is a fruit even more deceptive. It's often labeled a superfruit, yet it can quietly exhaust your legs from within. Stay tuned, because the next one may surprise you more than any other. It's luscious. It's vibrant. It's famous for keeping you hydrated. But don't be fooled, because while it may taste like water, on the inside, it behaves just like sugar. Let's talk about watermelon, the fourth fruit on our list. The bogus watermelon. Light, refreshing, the symbol of summer and hydration. It feels innocent, right? Low in calories, mostly water, and everyone agrees it's healthy. But here's the hidden truth. Watermelon has an extremely high glycemic index. That means it causes your blood sugar to spike, just like candy. And for seniors, those repeated sugar surges can quietly cause serious harm, especially to the legs. Let's break it down. When your blood sugar jumps suddenly, your body releases insulin to balance it. But as we age, the body's insulin response becomes weaker and less controlled. This imbalance triggers inflammation, especially in areas with poor circulation, like your calves, ankles, and knees. You might feel it as leg fatigue right after eating, a dull ache when taking a short walk, or that strange, persistent swelling near your ankles. Even climbing a few stairs starts to feel like climbing a mountain. Watermelon may look light and harmless, but on the inside, it's a sweet trap, slowly wearing down your circulation and leg strength. And here's the catch. Because it's so refreshing, most people eat a lot of it. One slice becomes 2, then 3, each one adding more sugar, more inflammation, more stress on your blood vessels. It's deceptive. You think you're drinking water, but your blood sugar is spiking instead. Your circulation struggles. Your legs pay the price. So does watermelon really keep seniors hydrated? Or does every juicy bite quietly make movement more painful? If you've noticed your legs feeling more tired or swollen lately, it might be time to take another look at the watermelon on your plate. And if watermelon, the symbol of hydration, can secretly exhaust your legs, what about a fruit that's famous for boosting immunity and health? It's bright, tangy, and loaded with vitamin C. But it may not be as safe as you think. Stay with me, because the next fruit might surprise you even more. Juices, immunity-boosting drinks, a breakfast classic. But for seniors, that morning ritual might be hiding an acidic attack, one that quietly targets the joints. Let's talk about oranges, the fifth fruit, the acid attack on your joints. Oranges, smart, fragrant, everywhere, in juices, health supplements, breakfast platters. They're known for their vitamin C, the immunity booster. But behind that citrus glow lies something seniors rarely suspect: acid. And your joints don't like acid. Citrus, abundant in oranges, can quietly irritate your joints, especially if you already battle stiffness, swelling, or arthritis. You might notice it each morning: a dull tightness in your knees, a throbbing in your hips, that heavy sensation in your legs after sitting too long. It feels like aging. But part of the problem could be that daily glass of orange juice. Here's what actually happens. Citric acid doesn't stop at your stomach. It travels through your bloodstream, reaching your joints, where it begins to irritate delicate tissues. And when that acid combines with the fruit's natural sugar, it triggers blood sugar fluctuations, which means more inflammation. The result? Each step feels a little heavier, each movement a bit more painful. For younger people, this reaction is mild. But for seniors, whose circulation slows with age, that irritation builds quietly, day after day. And the hardest part? You think you're helping yourself. Because oranges have always been a symbol of health. But now you know, they might not always be good for your health. So what comes next?